what's going on, guys? Welcome back to AriesEDC and another edition of Tnfnu, Thoughts and Feelings and Updates. Another week has gone by, and it's another time for me to sit down and kind of give you my thoughts and feelings for the week and give you some updates of what I've been working on. So that is what Tnfnu is. And this week, I don't try to be preachy or anything on here, but I just try to give you what I'm thinking about. And I've been thinking about this lately, and it's a lot about where I am, and we're at that time of year where we start to give thanks, and I'll save all of that next week for Thanksgiving week. But I do want to speak on taking a chance on yourself. And what I mean by that is believe in what you're doing. If you're doing something and you truly believe into it with your core and into your heart, and you're putting every bit of yourself into it, and you truly believe in it, go for it. Whether that's trying to do knives, I had no idea this was going to be what it is. I was just going to pick up a hobby, maybe make a knife or two a year, and just have some fun learning the craft. And then it became this. It became all of Aries EDC and my brand and my channels, and it kind of blew up. And I loved every second of it. It was never supposed to be what it was, but here we are because I took a chance on myself. I put myself out there. I put my work out there, and I said, you know what? If I fail, I go down in burning flames, but it was a good ride while it lasted. But you got to put yourself out there, and failure is going to be part of it. Did I fail? Yeah, I failed many times. I really messed up a lot of things, but I continued to work. I continued to grow, and I continued to get better. And this is not just with a thing like knife making or word making, wood making, or something like that. This is also just like taking a chance on yourself and sending that email that you've been wanting to send, talking to that person that you haven't talked to. The worst that they could say is no or ignore you. It's it's like me reaching out to knife companies to say, hey, I'm really close to 4,000 subs on YouTube. Would you mind sending me something for a giveaway? I'll talk highly of your company. And usually I reach out to companies I speak highly of anyway. But I try to scratch their back, they scratch mine. And then you guys end up winning in the end because I give away stuff for you guys. Plus, there's a lot of you guys who send me stuff. And I try not to ask for giveaway stuff from you guys. I'd rather get stuff from companies. But there are companies that I have had to reach out to and be like, hey, I really like what you're doing. Is there any way possible I can get a chance to take a look at something? And then they reach out and they say, sure, we'll send you something like Monster. And I become an affiliate of Monster, or even another, their other company, Wixco. You know, you reach out to Wixco, they were nice enough to send me something. And then we have companies that are even uh, what I would put on a higher echelon, and that's TRM, my favorite USA made knife company. Uh, I reached out to them and they sent me this, and then they sent me scales for it. You got to take a chance on yourself. Um, of course, if you don't have a channel and you don't have a means to talk about these knife companies, then reaching out to them and be like, hey, can you send me a knife? That probably is not going to work out well for you. But there might be something within your life that you've been thinking about doing, and you're just afraid to put yourself out there. But sometimes you just got to go. You just got to put yourself out there, and maybe something good will happen. As long as you understand and you can accept the either getting a no, a rejection, or something else, then you have to put yourself out there. I never thought in a million years that one of my knives would be in production with a knife company. Never thought it. And I shopped the Bloom design around for a couple months with several different knife companies. And it took a while for people to get back to me. Kubi was not the first company that I reached out to, but they were the one company that came back to me and said, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. And I've tried to do other companies with other designs. I try to put it out there. It doesn't hurt to ask. And some of those companies are pretty honest and say, no, I'm sorry, we're not interested. And then some companies send you their typical thing back saying, you know, you shared your design with us. We now can use it, even though you don't have to be involved, which that's kind of hurtful, but whatever. It's part of what they do, and it's part of the knife I guess, company's thing that they do, and they do it with everybody. But you know, you just got to put yourself out there. You might have a knife design that you're thinking about. You might just have a paper drawing of that design. Sometimes that's good enough. They can take that paper drawing with some dimensions and turn that into your design coming forward without having to pay somebody to put it into CAD. A lot of people can't pay for that. Although, if you do have a design and you are looking to get it into CAD, let me know. I got a guy. Just might have a guy. But um, that's my message this week is bank on yourself. Put yourself out there sometimes. It's good to take a risk. Sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't. But if they do, what did you lose? You didn't really lose anything. You lost someone telling you no or not interested. But then on the flip side of that, you could have something amazing come out that you created. And that is well worth it. So that was my soapbox thing for this week. Let's talk updates. So I am in the middle of all of the ADC Every 2 Pops Pro Cut builds. So I've been doing all of the carbon steels, and I am done with almost all of them, guys. I'm almost done with all of them. All of the skeletonized blades are now done. They have their sheaths, they've been sharpened, they all have their cards filled out, and these are all ready to hit the Etsy store. Each one has been acid etched and tumbled, and they're all looking really good. And I really got a nice good edge on these, which I'm pretty happy about because that means I got a really good heat treat on these. They all are fitting pretty nice. I'm not doing, I will say it up and down. The skeletonized blades are not easy for me to do a sheath without a little bit of rattle. They are safe. They will not come out. That is not coming out, but there might be a little bit of rattle in there just because there's nothing else for them to hold on to. But yes, here's the other naked column or mini gargoyle. Sorry, mini gargoyle. They turned out really well, and I'm really happy with how that one came out. So these are ready to hit the Etsy store. I got some pictures of everything. I just got to post the ads, and then we have the naked column, and this is probably the last one I'm going to do for quite some time. But people love the naked column who have one, but not everybody is too thrilled on that design. But it's one of my original designs, and I'm sticking with it. It's pretty cool, but I don't think I'm going to be doing these next year as far as getting blanks made. I'm just going to move forward with these guys instead of these guys. So I got all of those done. Then that brings us to the 2 prototype designs. Remember, the Max and the Cardinal Clip were just drawings. This drawing sat around here on my desk for about a year before I decided, you know what? Let's do something with it. And now I have. And now I have the finished product. Besides the loop, which should be here in the next hour. But I'm going to put a brown loop on it. We got the Raptor Skin Kydex done very well. And the blade is done. Looks really, really good. Let me give it a wipey wipe. There we go. But we have that. The hand satin finish on the ADC Every 2 blade. The natural burlap micarta with the brass pins and the brown lanyard. Done very well. My fan is making all kinds of noises, guys. Sorry. So that is looking really, really good. Really happy with it. So it's a really great experience to be able to create something with your own hands, to be able to come up with a design, come up with something that you're like, yeah, I think that'll work. Come on, focus. That'll work. And then now I have a finished product. So this one's going to be hitting the Etsy store as well because this one has no buyer for it right now, but it's going to be a new design moving forward. And I've already added it to the form for the books. So if you get into the books, this can now be one of the offerings that you can sign up to get, which leaves us to the last 2. What would that be? Well, the Max. Again, the Max was just a paper drawing based off of the Pops Pro Cut Challenge. Again, I've said it 100 times, but it was because of the Pops Pro Cut, not challenge, but the little thing they had on their website where you buy this kit, you get an 8-inch piece of Pops Pro Cut steel, and you get a Tiffany blue handle material, and you can do whatever you want, and you post it on their Facebook page. Well, I drew out that drawing and I said, you know what, that's going to be cool. It needs to be 8 inches. I'm going to make a nice kind of bushcrafty kind of deer or hunting. I don't know why I always say deer, camping, hunting knife, just an overall good bushcrafting blade. And then we did the wooden blank, and now we have, my hands are shaking because I've been hand sanding. But now we have the max. And I did two. So we did the Pops Pro Cut and we did the ADC two. And my original thought was I'm going to do these and then I'm going to do some testing on them, blah, 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 blah. I don't feel comfortable doing that. So I'm just going to finish these up and get them on their way. But this is what we've come up with. So this is the 80 CRV2 Max with the purple and the Tiffany blue. So that is purple. Let me mess with this a little bit and see, maybe that lighting will be a little bit better. Yeah. So we have the purple and the Tiffany blue, and that's a nice drop point blade. I contoured the handles a little bit, nothing too crazy, but they fits really well in the hand, gives you really something to grab a hold of and to go. So I really like how the Max is looking. And this is the Max. The Pops Pro Cut Max, as you guys know, for those of you who follow the channel, I ran into a little hiccup, and this one ended up being a little bit more different with the harpoon shape instead of the top line of the blade. But this one came out really nice too, with the purple and the blue. And now this one has that little harpoon with a little bit of jimping right there behind the harpoon on the spine that gives you really good grip. And it's just, you just want to, And so this is like the yin and the yang of the Pops Pro Cut and the 80 CRV2 Max. What brings me to that as well is like, this is a vision. I had a vision from the start with what I wanted to do with that handle material. I knew I was going to get this Tiffany blue, and I was like, what am I going to do that would be fun? And I figured, let me play with a little bit of color, and I decided to go purple, and I thought these two colors would look really cool together, and I'm glad I did, because they are really cool together. So we have this little yin yang thing going on the handles. They're all matchy and they're looking pretty cool. So these are almost done. What I need to do is a sheath and sharpen, and then these guys I can button up. What am I going to do with them? I'm not really sure right now. I might do a little bit of testing on these guys, but nothing crazy. Maybe a little bit of batoning. I say that, but then I'm like, how am I going to do that? And I don't really have anything to baton and how to baton, so it's not really something that I do. But at some point in time, these guys are going to go up for sale. I don't know the prices and I don't know any of that, but really, really cool. It's an 8-inch overall blade, 4-inch blade, 4-inch handle. Yeah, guys, I'm really happy with the way that these come out, and I can see these being a really great bushcrafting blade. And of course, I'm not locked into always using this kind of handle material. We can do wood, we can do all kinds of different materials for this moving forward. But now I have kind of a more flushed out design that I could do. And these are not going to be really part of the books. These are more special request builds because it takes me so long to do them. The longer the blade, the longer these took to do. And these took an absolute long time to hand sand and to grind and to do all of those things, but it was worth it because they came out awesome. So I have those that I am done. So I am looking really good because as I'm filming this, the stainless are on their way back and will be here in the next 3 days. So in 3 more days, 3.5, I'll probably have all the stainless back. Well, no, I will have the 3 Nitro V blades back, the Wesser, the Torcido, and the Tobico. I'll have those back, and then we'll have the L-Max Spike back. So I have those 4 blades on their way back, and then I can get started on those. And then the other 4 stainless, the 2 rock hoppers, the pedal, and the other Wesser are still at heat treat, and hopefully those will come back really soon because I want to get all of that done before the end of December. But we're looking good, guys. We're looking good. We're halfway through November, and I'm getting really close. Fingers crossed I get everything back in time to finish up before the end of the year. We will see. It's going to be really, really close. So that is the updates for that. I do want to say one thing before I go. Woobin. Woobin is another company that sent me some stuff for you guys. I reached out to Woobin, and they have been very kind with sending me all kinds of stuff. They sent me um, this. Aha, it's stuck right here. The G5. They sent me the G5 and the C3. And this thing is freaking awesome for a little EDC flashlight. You throw this in your pack, throw this in your vehicle. You always have a little flashlight that you can use, and it's so versatile to be able to use it on many different ways with the head swiveling. There's so many really cool things that you could do with this flashlight. I really loved it. And then they reached out and they wanted to send me the X4. So I got the X4, and this thing is just a great all around light. So many different features. You have the front, you have the top of the light, 1200 lumens, you have the colors, you have all those different options, all of those things. Blinding light that would just, yeah. So this thing is absolutely awesome. And they are now on sale. So the Woobin X4, Woobin is having a sale on their site and on Amazon. And this one right now is $40. So I think you can get this for $40 on their website. There's a link in the description of this video that you could follow. It's my affiliate link with Woobin, and it does help the channel. If you purchase something, please use that link. It is very helpful to the channel. But Woobin is doing some really cool stuff, and they sent this along, and this is the white one. Stormtrooper version, I guess, of the X4. And this is actually going to be part of the 4,000 giveaway. So when I get to 4,000 subs here on YouTube, this is going to be just another thing that I'm going to be giving away, along with some really cool stuff, including a blue Kubi Bloom. I'm going to be giving one of these away, and I got some other stuff in the works, and there's been a lot of knives that I have been sharing as well that are going to be part of that giveaway. So I got to get to 4K, and if you're not subscribed, you got to subscribe. You got to hit that like button and leave a comment. Or not, I guess. That choice is always yours. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one.